Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angryprepper. So, today's video, I can't even comprehend what I saw in my own city. So, guys, apparently, not apparently, but New York City went through this bad rainstorm. Now, the whole tri-state area, if not a lot of the East Coast, went through this rain system from Ophelia, sorry if I'm not mistaken. That's a tropical storm that's out in the ocean. But a lot of the remnants came by and drenched the entire city. So anyway, seeing rain before, not this amount of rain and not the craziness that we saw. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be like, this is not climate change. This is something. It is definitely something different. Now, like I said before, I do believe in climate change, but I do believe the Earth is doing it on its own and not us. We're not perpetuating it. We're not pushing it along. I think the Earth is just doing its, 1,000 years or whatever it is, craziness. Weather patterns are going to change, obviously, and all this other crap. That being said, the amount of rain that landed in New York City was insane. Now, I know a lot of places upstate New York, they got some rain, but it was like all of the rain pooled here. And the craziness that was being seen and done, I've never seen in my 46 years in this city. And even my mother, who lived in this city, I think she's like 1,000 years old, she's never seen anything like this. So, with that, guys, we're going to go over the certain things that happened here in the city that was just insane. So now, first, my kids went to school today, and I have 5 kids. They've gone to school. We've gone to school. We have never been turned around from school to go back home because of rain. That's how bad it was. My daughter's school was dismissed early, around 11 o'clock or so. And my son, who's on a special school on Roosevelt Island, they sent him home early because, first of all, a lot of kids didn't show up to school. But on top of that, the amount of rain that they were seeing, teachers are like, we got to go home. We got to get out of here early. And they dismissed a lot of the kids. So I've never seen that before. Then you have a lot of like the CrossFit gyms or gyms like that canceling classes because of the amount of rain. Then there was an absorbent amount of rain in the train station yet again, but this time it seemed worse than 2 years ago. Now, in some of these footages here, you're going to see some crazy shit. I've never seen water coming out of the walls like someone was poking holes in it. I've never seen the drain in the station being backed up so bad that it was coming out like a geyser. Not to mention the streets itself, which were flooded. I mean, there were parts of the street where there was one guy, if I can find a picture, there was one guy that was like stranded on a street light, waiting, I don't know, for God or whoever was to help him. He was stranded on this light. So a lot of people were stranded in the city. I left my car where it was because I'm in a higher ground here. I don't have to worry about flooding. But when I saw what was going on, I was going to venture to go out there, but I'm like, for what? So I can get stranded out there myself? So I stayed my ass home. That's probably the one time where I stay home. Nonetheless, guys, this amount of water that the city's seeing. Now, everybody's trying to explain why there was so much water and all this other bullshit. It's fucking logic. This is a concrete city. There's not a lot of places for this water to go. The drains are only yay big. So, of course, you're going to get flooding like this, especially when you get this amount of water. Now, I've never seen water this bad in the city, even during a hurricane. So to see it during just a rainstorm or a tropical rainstorm remnant hitting the city, this was insane. Now, a lot of people, scientists are going to come out of the woodworks and try to explain it. Well, the ground was saturated, and shut the fuck up. It was what it was. It was just too much water being dumped on the city. That's it. It's all the science we need. We don't need the breakdown on the tilt of the earth and the fucking moon, the gravitational pull, and all that other crazy shit. It was just a lot of water that was dumped on the city. Now, a little north of me, there's 2 highways, or roadways if you want. One's called the Spring, and the other one's called the Bronx River. Now, the Bronx River legitimately turns into a river whenever it rains. Just rain. The rain today submerged cars. Normally, cars are stranded, water's up to like their door, maybe the top of the bottom of the window of the driver's side. Cars were completely submerged in water in the Bronx River. There were people who were stranded in the Bronx River as well. There were construction workers there was one construction worker who wasn't stranded, but he was definitely not doing well in a construction site. So we had all of this going on, guys. We have this amount of water, again, we've never seen. My mother, who's 1,000 years old, she's never seen anything like this. My 46 years, I've never seen anything like this, even during a hurricane. Something is definitely up. Now, some of you are going to write at the bottom, it's hard. Could be. Could be the earth changing. It could be climate change. Something is definitely changing. We can't sit there and look at it anymore and go, well, no, that's normal. This is not normal. Don't let some asshole scientist tell you this is normal. This is far from fucking normal. And being, again, guys, that I've seen the amount of water in this city, I've never even seen it during a hurricane. I think we've been through 3 or 4 hurricanes. I've never seen this amount of water. This is just insane. To boot, I was talking to the guys at the firehouse earlier today, and they were telling me that they were going to different homes that had basement level homes. Everybody's basement home was flooded with water, 2 to 3 feet of water inside their homes because the drains backed up into their homes. So again, guys, this is just pretty much like an update to let you know that, yeah, shit was real. There were a lot of fucking problems here in the city. Train systems were shut down. Lines were shut down, rather. Sorry. Schools were canceled. 150 schools, I think, in the New York City area were closed. That's a lot of schools to close down for rain. I've never seen schools close down for rain. So with all of this rain, guys, basically the city was drenched. A lot of people were left stranded where they were. People were probably stuck at work. My son's mother, who's a cop, she's left at work because they closed down the train system that takes her upstate New York or Westchester, wherever the fuck she lives. So a lot of people were stranded here in the city. A lot of people were stranded in their cars. Shit got real. And this is the kicker. This is not going to be the last time. We're going to see more rain and more rainstorms, and people are going to have to figure out what to do. Now, as a prepper, you should always have enough shit on you to stay at work at this point. You should have an extra set of clothes, change of clothes, whatever it is. You should have a dry bag with your clothes in it in case you get caught in something like this. I just watched probably 100 and something cars get submerged in water. Those cars are done, but if you have a bug out bag, make sure in that bug out bag, guys, or your get home bag, you have a dry bag with dry clothes in it. Or put all your shit in the dry bag, just so that this doesn't happen. This is the second time in 2-year period or a 1.5 year period. We're going to see more of these around the nation, not just here in New York City. So do yourself a favor and start thinking in terms of these floods. I've never seen anything like this in 46 years. About a 1.5 years ago, some of you remember we experienced something like this before, but it was not as bad as a 1.5 years ago. This was pretty bad, and it's probably only going to get worse. So what do? We prepare and we make sure that we don't end up in situations. Also, flood locations. Know the flood locations. Know the prime flooding spots so that you don't end up there or drive through there or even come close to it. For example, on a rainy day like today, I would have not in a million years drove by the Bronx River or the Sprain because I know they flood. So I would have stayed away from that and went around and taken a longer route home. Know your route homes, know your flood routes, and you should be okay. That's like a quick tip on how to deal with this shit that's only going to get worse. Anyway, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.